let's take you to the holiday market in Black Diamond where we met Ben and John, the PizzaManiacs.
Yes!
Me and John have been friends since we were 14. John ended up moving to Seattle, and about 6 months later I followed him, where we joined a punk band together.
A couple months later, I ended up joining a punk band called 5 Good Reasons.
5 Good Reasons, I love it.
Yep.
And they were all pepperoni.
And about a year later or so, he ended up joining the band because we went through some member changes. And, yeah, and we recorded a couple records, and we ended up going on tour 3 or 4 times, and
yeah,
this is history.
And that was it. And the reason I got into pizza was because they were some of the only jobs that really hired where I could come and go. I could get a pizza job, and then I'd say, hey boss, I need a month off, and I could take the month off and then still come back. So it was, it just kind of fit into it. I do have a background, parents were both cooks.
Oh, nice.
So I was comfortable in the kitchen, but I watched my father go through the 80s and 90s as a chef when it wasn't cool, and it was 100 hours a week for nothing. And so I wanted to cook, but I wanted to find a different way to do it. And through pizza, you're able to cook, but also talk to your customers, make them feel welcome. And and then from there, the obsession of making the best possible pizza came in about 10 years ago, where I just became obsessed with the dough. It was something I'd known a lot about, but I really wanted to make something that other people just don't have. As far as like texture of the crust, flavors that are going on in the pizzas, and we, over the last 6 months have redefined it for what Seattle really likes. I've come back and forth many times over the years, and there's something about this area, Washington, Oregon, that is just special compared to anywhere else I've ever been. The people, the attitude, the food, the weather is such a wash for me because of all those other things being so popular, like being so amazing. It just allows you to be who you want to be. And coming from a place like California where it's a very stick figure feel of you have to be a certain way, it's just a nice breather to be part of an area that lets you be who you want to be.
There's a lot of different people that have different culture, and we kind of like to bring a little bit of all that to the table.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the dough sits for more than 4 or 5 days. We have almost like 100-hour sit on our dough time, and the Pacific Northwest actually helps a lot with that. The weather like this really helps it kind of stay firm while at the same time we get it rising. So it's kind of, in a weird way, it almost turns into a sourdough. As kind of a traditionalist, I focus on so many other things that I'm more concerned with the dough quality, the sauce, and just making those perfect. Because I don't think people realize stretching out a pizza how difficult it really is. You can do it for 1 or 2 years, but it really takes 4 or 5 years before you're really proficient with it and can make an exceptional pizza. When people talk about New York and they say the water, as somebody who's been doing it for 25 years, I don't actually believe it's the water. I believe that the guy making the pizza has been doing it for 20 years and just is very good at it. Knows exactly the amount of sauce, the exact amount of cheese to put on there to make your taste buds kind of pop.
Our commissary kitchen, we run into all kinds of different people there with different taste buds.
They've been super inspiring.
Super inspiring, super nice and welcoming. And there's Seattle Samosas has a butter chicken sauce that we really enjoy. So we're gonna try that.
We're gonna work on that one.
Chicken pizza.
Yeah, which should be a lot of fun. The hot honey right now is really big time, so we're trying to figure out some flavors that go with that. Putting the sweet on pizza is an interesting task because a lot of people aren't ready for it, so you have to balance that perfectly to really kind of make it pop. I don't see us not being able to, we'll be able to do it.
We love catering. We do weddings, private events, corporate events. We usually can feed anywhere from 100 to 200 people within 35, 45 minutes, which for pizza is a very rare thing. We kind of figured out our own process, but yeah, it's something that we really enjoy doing, and especially weddings. That's kind of a fun thing for us. We have a big background in that previous to pizza even, that comes from my childhood with my mother owning a catering business. So
I'm gonna kind of sell myself out here, but our pesto pizza with feta is my #1 pizza of all time. It's actually the pizza that got me into pizza, into knowing that there was just other options out there. It is a little bit of a recreation of a pizza shop that's in Seattle. I've definitely taken it my own way, but yeah, it's a very special pizza to me and is the reason why PizzaManiac exists, honestly.